Hello, welcome. In today's video, we're just going to look on how to integrate Stripe into your Next.js application, most especially the e-commerce, okay? So one thing that is always not clear, and in most tutorials that I've tried to watch, is how to integrate Stripe into your Next.js application or to put into your e-commerce. So today we are going to look at how to integrate it in your e-commerce and how you can receive payments on your e-commerce using Stripe. So let me show you the demo of what you're going to build. So this is a simple store. As you can see here, I have a simple store. And on this store, we have a product list and we have 12 items right now. So if I just go ahead and I add some items right now, I'm just going to add this Anibe Colomba sofa and this one. So I have two items that I've added to cart, and you can just go and see my items here. So now I'm just going to click on proceed to checkout. So this one is going to process now a Stripe checkout, and you can see here I've been redirected to this page, and we are capturing very well the products, including their images. And of course, we are in test mode. And I'm just going to put in any email you want here. I'm just going to put maybe test at this hub. And I'm just going to go ahead and plug in the card. The card for testing is always 4242 424242. Just continue putting 42 until it ends. Okay. Then the month, you can put any month you want, maybe 11, and then you can just say 20, maybe 2030, and that is, you could just say 2028. And then this you can put 123. Then the full name on the card, I can put anything I want. Okay. Country, Uganda, and I'm just going to simply just say pay. So they will go ahead and process this. You can see, and they have redirected back to my Next.js application with order confirmed. Okay. So if you just go back to Stripe, all these products, you will see that I had one product. Okay. Now you can see that these two products that we purchased, this Annabelle and this one, these two, you can see them here. Okay, you can see these ones here, and at first they were not there. Okay, so that's what you're going to build in today's video, and if you're happy, let's get started. Okay, so before we get started, one thing we have to understand is, first of all, before we jump into coding, I want to first make you understand the Stripe checkout. Okay, most people I normally see, they jump into code, they show you. The most important thing is to understand the flow. When you understand the flow very well of Stripe checkout, of how it works, when it comes to implementation, you cannot get lost. You will understand all the way, and you understand all the steps that is involved in Stripe checkout. So in the normal flow, to understand the normal flow without Stripe, I'm just going to give you an example of this application we built together. I think it's called Limi Food. Okay. If you didn't watch that series, the e-commerce series, we build this e-commerce here. Okay. So when you go to the e-commerce, now this one has no Stripe. Okay. So I want you to understand, like, if you're just doing this, so just go ahead and add some items into cart. We have three items, as you can see them here. you would just continue to check out, and they would require you to log in. I'm not sure if I have an account here. I'm not sure if this is going to work. Please. Okay. And it turns out I have an account. So now I'm just going to go now through the same process. I added my 3 items in the checkout, as you can see. Okay. What happens? I'm just going to click on continue to checkout, and then they will ask some information. You're just going to go ahead next. They will ask more information. Okay. Delivery, I'm just going to select one of these ones and select next. And then you can see here payment, and this is the subtotal. And I'm just going to say credit card. And then, or you can just say cash on delivery, any of this one. Now, this is a process whereby if I complete onto this, now you see this button where they say proceed to payment. Now, this is a point where you need now to activate the Stripe checkout. You have the order summary you created, the number of items you can see here. This everything is straightforward. Now, when I say proceed to payment, that is the point you are supposed to go ahead and pay, or you're supposed to go ahead and go to Stripe. But now, if I say proceed to payment, you are going to see that it is going to go ahead and process. You can see order created, and then they just told me this is my order, and you can go ahead and view the invoice, so on and so forth. Okay, you can just go ahead and view the invoice for this. But in between generating this invoice, or this order here, you are supposed to actually, someone would have paid, the client would have paid. And in this project, we did not include the payment or the Stripe checkout, but the Stripe checkout would have been before this invoice or this order would have been generated. Okay, so now, since you understand, now let's go into understanding the flow. Okay, and so now you understand how this one matches with, sorry, let me just go to this hosted version. Now, if you just go to this one, you understand why. Okay, if I just go to these 2 items right now, and you go back here, and now this is the same button that I placed before this. Maybe I can just go back. It is this same button now. This point here is the same point now I am on this. So this button proceed to checkout is the same button now that's supposed to be proceed to payment. Okay? After you have finished the cart, you have finished the cart info, the all the information. Now you proceed to payment. Now you're supposed to actually just go ahead and just proceed to payment, or put this here. And now when you process, you see that it is going to go ahead and generate this checkout, and someone fills in the information. Now, when all these are done, the order confirmed everything after filling in, you will see that if I just go ahead and do a fake filler here, for the card information, it will be 4242. Let me just say 424242424242, just like that. And you can just put anything here. Okay, the country that put Ethiopia, it's okay. So as you can see, I have this information. So when I click on pay, now this is the time whereby we process this. Okay, and go to order success. Now this is the other point whereby we generate the order. And this point whereby this was processing, they created a new order, and they redirected you to this page. So you could redirect to this order confirmation page. Okay, the good thing you have the user, you can create this order and get this order ID and everything. You can just go ahead and you create this piece for your client. Okay, so this is the flow. Now that you understand where in the e-commerce you can place your your Stripe, let's understand the Stripe checkout behind the scenes. Okay, so as we have seen the flow, I'm just going to first make you understand the flow, which is actually more important. So it starts when you have an e-commerce here. Okay, I'm just going to plug in the text here. Here just say maybe e-commerce, or you come to the store. Okay, and just going to make this somehow big. So when you are in the store, okay, I'm just going to put a this. So you're in the store. The next step is, so you have here in the store, you have your products, and someone goes ahead and adds this to the checkout. Now, in my case here, I just simply added them in the cart. Okay, I simply add them in the cart. You can just add them in anything you want. It can be this very as I showed you here. It can be the checkout, the real checkout page. Okay, so you have to have the checkout. So this is going to be checkout. Okay, so here at this point, there are some things you have. At this point, you have a list. So you need to have a list of checkout products. So you have a list of checkout products. Let me just increase this a bit. So you have a list of checkout products, and also you have like your customer data if you wanted to create the order in the database. So you can also have the customer data here, and you also have the list of checkout product, the order products. You can just call them order products or checkout products. These the products the person wants to purchase. So this is the at the checkout page you have these two things. So what is going to happen, or what you want to do, is now you need to send this data to checkout or to Stripe checkout. So Stripe checkout, it is that page you have seen, the payment page. That is what you call the Stripe checkout. You want to someone to send them to that page where they can be able now to pay for those products. So what we want is, behind the scenes, we are going to get these two things. You For this case, we are not putting authentication. Okay. In this video, I'm not going to handle authentication the way you saw in this e-commerce. We're just going to simply deal with now the checkout products, this list of products here, and then we send them straight. So you have now to get these products here, and then this is the Stripe. So you communicate with Stripe checkout, or you have to create a Stripe checkout. Okay, so here we need to have the Stripe the checkout in here, and in the Stripe checkout involves a number of processes, but this communication happens by via API. Okay, so to move from here to here it is very easy. In the first place, here we are using the cart. Okay, here you're using the add to cart to stage your products in the checkout, and with Redux. And then for this, we'll use an API. So here we create an API endpoint to handle the whole concept of this the Stripe checkout. So now this just is the steps, and what the Stripe checkout is going to give you at the end of the day, it's going to give you two options. Either the order is confirmed, okay, or the payment is confirmed, someone paid. This one you have the order successful. We can just say order success, or it can be that someone actually canceled the payment. Order cancelled. Okay, the outcome of this process can be one of the two. Yeah, someone can cancel the payment. I'm just going to show you in a second. If I just went back here onto this one, let me just go back to the store. Now I'm just going to add two items, and now I proceed to payment. I'm not going to pay. So on this page, I can decide to go back. Someone reaches here, they see the price, and they don't make a purchase. If you fill the information and you go ahead and pay, that order is successful placed, and we go to the order success or the order success page. And if I just click I go back like so, the order has been cancelled. You can see we also have this order cancelled page. You can also handle this kind of scenario. Okay, so just going to show how to handle, of course, all those ones. Okay, so you can see this is how it goes. You have a store, you add items to cart through an endpoint and an API, you create a Stripe checkout, and then the Stripe checkout is going to give you back either a URL. It has to give you back a URL that is going to confirm this. Either the order is successful or the order is cancelled, and then the payment will be made in your Stripe account. Okay, so now that this is just like I think the overall layer of the Stripe process. Now let's understand the Stripe checkout itself. This is just the overall on the whole entire e-commerce. Let's understand the overall, sorry, the Stripe checkout in particular. Okay, so what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to hold this, and I'm just going to move them up a little bit so that we actually just understand very well the Stripe checkout. So let's just understand the Stripe checkout. Stripe checkout is divided into some processes. Okay, so Stripe checkout. Okay, Stripe checkout. So this starts by you having an account. So step number one, you need to, or it assumes that you have a Stripe account. So login stroke create Stripe account. Okay. Now, if you're just like me, worried about the Stripe, you can create an account in any country. They will create an account. Even in those countries where Stripe is not supported, you will go ahead and be able to create an account, and you'll be able to work also in test mode. That's the good news. Okay. The good news is that there are those people in some countries where Stripe is not allowed. But creating an account on Stripe, they will accept. You can put your phone number, your country. You'll be able to create the Stripe account. Though, when you reach on changing your test mode account to a live version or production, there it will not be possible if your Stripe is not supported in your country. But in the test mode, it will work. Okay, because Uganda, where I'm coming from, is also not having Stripe supported. But I was able to create an account, do all the programming behind the scenes, and I was allowed. So you can work in the test mode, but in the production mode, you might not. You might need another other solutions for that, which I will come back later. Remind me how you can do that. Now, the so create an account. That is the one thing. Now, so we're just going to start a point whereby, so this, why you create an account, the creating of an account is simply get yourself API keys. So step number 2, you need to have a Stripe. More so in this video, the one that will be in need so much is going to be the Stripe secret key. So you just get this secret key that is going to help us to initiate the SDK secret key here. Okay, you need the API secret key. I will show you how to get this. So when you have these two out of the way, now we can start the actual process. So these ones are the prerequisites. Maybe we just add them as just prerequisites. Stripe, these ones you need to have them. These two things here. Now let's start the actual process here. So you have the account, you have the Stripe circulate, and you add it in your Envy. Now here it's just by creating the endpoint. So you're going to create an API endpoint. Okay, so this API endpoint is going to be pointing something like API, okay, stroke API, stroke checkout, and then you have something like route.ts. Okay, so this is you're going to be your endpoint that you need to have. Okay, okay. Step number 2, we receive the products. Okay, we receive products here. So here we're going to receive checkout products from the client side. So here we receive the products from the store, cart or checkout. Okay, so this one you get these ones from the client. Okay, so you understand what I'm meaning. The point whereby you add, okay, the point where you add these two items, and then when you just go here, so when you click on this button, you are actually first sending all these products to the checkout. Okay, so now step number 3. So you have this here. So when you get this, what do you need to do? So what we need to do at this point is that under normal circumstances in Stripe, when you go to here, they have this possibility of you creating the product manually. Okay, you can just say and click on add product. They will give you this form whereby you can create a new product. Okay, from here. But as you understand, on the e-commerce, you cannot have 100 and thousands of products on the e-commerce, and you're going to create one product at a time, one by one. Okay, you would create this. If you go ahead and create a product from here, they even give you after creating a product, they can go ahead and they will give you even for instance, a payment link. You can generate a payment link and then even put on your page like that. But in our case, you always have hundreds and thousands of items in your e-commerce. Okay, a normal e-commerce, you have a lot of stuff moving on. You get, so we cannot do creation of a product in the Stripe dashboard using this manual method. We have to communicate via an API. So the first step to be able to create checkout products, they say all products which are going to be added in the checkout session of Stripe, they must be present in the Stripe dashboard. That's the first step. The product must be existing in the Stripe dashboard for it to be able to be bought through the Stripe checkout session. So that means that when we reach at this point here, the first step we need to do is to go ahead and create the product one by one. So in fact, we have to iterate. So we have to iterate through the products. Actually, it doesn't matter. Just say here we need to create the products. We need to create Stripe products. We need to create. Yeah, here I'm just going to call them Stripe products. So you have to create Stripe products from the checkout from the checkout products. So the checkout products, I'm going to be referencing them as the products that came from the front end are the checkout products, and then Stripe products are the ones coming from the Stripe dashboard. So we have to go through all these checkout products and we create Stripe products. Now, this process is somehow actually tricky, because every time you try to create an item, you have to first check if this item already been created. Sorry. You have to check. So here it involves some checks. You have to check if the item already exists in the Stripe. Okay, if this item already exists, you don't want to create it. If it doesn't exist, then create it. So we only create the item if it doesn't already exist in Stripe. That's step number 3. Now let's go to step number 4. So assuming now this product you have sent to Stripe checkout, we have created it in Stripe. After creating this product in Stripe, the first step we need to do, and by the way, we're going to be referencing to these steps so that you can understand. So the next step is now to go ahead and check if, okay, in fact, here just going to say prepare the products for Stripe checkout. Stripe checkout. In fact, create, this step would be, the best name would be create Stripe checkout products. Stripe checkout products. Okay. Now, one thing is that having a product in Stripe just like this does not necessarily mean, if you have the products like these ones here, does not necessarily mean you want to they are being bought. No, you can create a product just like this and it is not yet added to the Stripe checkout. You have to understand those two things. You creating is just like coming here and you say add product. You haven't initiated the Stripe checkout on that product. Okay. So the first step we are doing here in step number 3, we are simply creating the products in the dashboard. So when you go to your dashboard, you will see those products you have created. But it doesn't mean necessarily that you have initiated those products for the checkout or the Stripe checkout to bring the other page. And whenever I talk about Stripe checkout, I'm meaning actually this page. Okay, I'm meaning this page. This is the Stripe checkout. So these two items now, they were actually prepared. Amongst all these ones which are inside here, these ones specifically, they have been now initiated for the checkout. That is what I'm talking about in this step number 4. So now you create Stripe checkout products from your Stripe products. From your Stripe products, you create now the Stripe checkout. Now, after getting these products, step number 5, okay, would be now you, okay, you here. So you can just go ahead and create, okay, you can go ahead and create Stripe session. So now Stripe checkout session. Okay, so now this is the final step. it gives us this Stripe checkout session, and in this session what we're just going to get is the URL. Okay, after this, the Stripe checkout session is going to give us the URL that we are going to redirect. So on this, just simply say that on the client side. So on the client, okay, so as I said, this Stripe session will generate, so this will generate a redirect URL. So a URL, or you could just say redirect URL, and then we capture this URL. So on the client, okay, use the URL to redirect to that page, to redirect to that page. Okay, so we use on the client, we use the URL to redirect to that page. Okay, and this page, this is the point why we're showing it can be a success page, or it can be the failure, the order cancel. It can be the order success page or the order failure page. You can redirect to those 2 points. Okay, now there are so many things you can put in between here, like creating the orders to your database and so on, or even creating the Stripe webhook to listen to what happened when a client either canceled and so on and so forth. But this is the meat. Okay, understanding these steps here, you have understood 90% of what you need to understand on the Stripe, and you can add Stripe to any of the projects successfully. So let's try to see how we can implement all these steps in our Next.js application. So I'm just going to start. As you know me, I went ahead and prepared a documentation that you're going to be following. And if you haven't checked out the sub docs, these are my new docs. Those who have been watching my videos, you know I was using a lot of Notion. Um, I was having some difficulties with Notion, so I went ahead and created my own documentation for most of my videos. Okay, so that you can always just have a reference for what we have studied and what we have done. So you can just go ahead and here just search for Stripe, and you just come to maybe to this. So you can just see here we have Stripe complete guide. I might just actually one thing before we start, one thing before we start. Um, um, this might be actually answering people's questions. You might have a question here. Now, this Stripe product, let me just talk about a Stripe product in a second. Maybe we just put it down here. Okay. Stripe has two types of products. Okay. Stripe products. Maybe I just call it Stripe products. Let me just copy one of these and just going to say Stripe product. So Stripe product can be just a second. If you are creating a Stripe product is divided into two types. Okay, we have the one-time products and we have also the recurring products. Okay, let me just duplicate this. We have one-time purchase products, and we also have the recurring products, or this one is the recurring charge or price, whereby this one is where we use subscriptions. Okay, subscription, like for instance, when you're paying for a monthly subscription, this can be for a course, can be for a template, can be for any service you're using online. And then this one-time purchase is actually the one for the e-commerce. Okay, so now I wanted to join these two But totally it was it was going to be a very long video, and two, it was going to be a bit confusing when I saw about the subscriptions. So I decided that in this first video, I'm just going to show you how to handle the purchases over the e-commerce. Now, in the next video, I don't know if it will be the next or one of the videos, we're just going to handle how to handle subscriptions. For instance, if you are purchasing a template or if you are purchasing a service that is recurring on your website, how to actually add the Stripe into your Next.js. So well, first today, we're going to look at handling the one-time purchase products, and then in another video, we'll handle how to pay for these recurring products. Great. So now that you understand this one, let's proceed to the implementation of these steps. So first, just go to this docs. I will leave the guide, this Stripe guide in this documentation in the description. Click on it, and now you're on this page. The first thing is you just have to go ahead and clone this Git repo, so that we don't actually go ahead and start styling from the first bit. Okay, so you can see clone this Git repository, which has the product setup in the store, and in the starter code we already have the cat functionality working with Redux. And that is to say, if you haven't watched my Redux video, please, you can just go ahead and watch here.
Using Next.js.
Sorry, here you can just search for this my Redux video here. Okay, I made it like some time back with TypeScript. It is a good one, and building on that, building on this product, I actually just developed this checkout, this page you were seeing before. Okay, so we already have that working, and I'm just going to start from there. Another thing, as I've said, just go ahead and to your Stripe. Okay, just go ahead and have your Stripe key. If you go to your Stripe account, please, before you start this, it is good that you first create your Stripe account. Simply go to Stripe, create a new account, and the most nice thing, by the way, is their search here. Anything you need, just simply search onto this search here. For instance, I want to create a new product. I can just say product. Just like this, they give you suggestion. Do you want to see product catalog? Do you want to create a product, create a new product, or you want to see features? Okay, if I want the API key, I can say API, and you can see just by putting API, they bring you here. Either you can go to developers API keys. This is where you find your API key. So just go click on that, and you will see that you will have these two keys. You have the publishable key and the secret key. Now, please don't reveal your secret key. I'm just going to keep mine for now. Okay, I'm just going to simply put the keep my keys as a secret. But the first thing is have this key. After you have your key, let's go ahead and just run this git clone. So I'm just going to go here, find any repository. I'm just going to put this. I'm just going to go here, find my projects, and maybe where we have videos, YouTube videos. I'm just going to put it here with the medical app. And by the way, the medical app, I haven't dumped it, guys. I have a lot of things to do, but finally, I'm going to complete the medical app. So don't really get worried. So I'm just going to go here, open Git bash, and I'm just going to say paste this. Okay. I don't need to use all this whole big full screen. I'm just going to simply paste the command, and when it brings that, I really feel bad. But one more time, you can just paste just like this. And this one is going to go ahead and clone a repository. I'm just going to cd into that repository, next starter, and just going to open this in VS Code, just like so. Okay, so the first thing when you get this repository, okay, since we are going even to host it, I want to show you the steps. The good steps would be normally when you just do git clone someone's repository, what happens, either you have to change git remote, because if I check to this, yeah, this now here, there is .git, and this .git is referencing to my GitHub. Okay, my GitHub credentials is having my remote. So you can just first go ahead and click on this. And if you're not seeing this on Windows, just have to go ahead and click show hidden files, something like this. Go and to the settings and click show hidden files. If you're not seeing .git, meaning that you can't see some of the hidden files. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on this gate, and you can delete it. Delete the .gate only. So after deleting .gate, you can quickly go to your now GitHub. Okay, and now you can create a new repository. It is always good to start by initiating your own repository. That's the trick I normally use, the easy one. So I create a new repository. Maybe this one is next stripe whitey. For my case, maybe YouTube, and I'm just going to leave it public and then create repository. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and just copy these three commands. Go back to this. Now let's initiate because we removed the git. So now we can go ahead and do, okay. By the way, before we push this, we can go ahead and add .env here. So I can just say .env, and then you can also go ahead and create your env here, even if you don't put anything, but just create the env, just like this. Now let's go ahead and do some things. So you could first run npm install, but I'm just going to set by git add, just like this. No, not git add, git init. Now that we deleted that, git init and git add. So I normally just do these two things just like this. So you see, we initialize it. Now I can go ahead and paste these commands just like this. Okay, great. So now if I just go ahead and refresh, I have now the code on mine. Okay, just like this. Great. So after having this, now I'm just going to go ahead and run npm install. So clear. So run npm install. Remember, just to install the packages. After this, we can just go ahead and install one more package before we get started. Now, you will find online a lot of tutorials showing so many different ways, and that I think the most part with Stripe is that it can be actually done in so many ways. Okay, so many ways. If you find a better way, then it's okay. And to me, after searching for a long, I just got this one to be the clear way. Sorry, I found this one to be a clear way, so that's why I'm showing you. So just go ahead and run now npm install Stripe. So we need to install Stripe. Now, as I'm saying, if you're watching other tutorials, people will be installing Stripe.js, Stripe React, and so many other things. In this particular tutorial, we don't actually need Stripe.js, or I mean, we don't need to need any other package. We only need just to install Stripe. So just go ahead and say npm install Stripe. So when this is done, I'm just going to go ahead and run. So just here, I'm just going to say npm run dev. Okay. So now this should right now fire this online. I'm just going to go ahead and just say localhost 3000, just like this. Okay. So we have this, and this just using the API. If you want to look at these products, how this one works, I have, if you go in my page, you will see I have this get all products very easily, get all products, and you can see it is using a server action get all products. If you go in this action get all products, here you can see in the action I'm just using the dummy JSON API, and I simply limited to 12 products. Okay, so this can be any API, it can be your backend. That's why I use the server action to simulate that these ones can be coming from your backend. You have seen me creating this get all products. You can just use this one and get your products from your API or from your backend using Prisma and so on and so forth, and have them coming into the page. And then from the page, you just go through, iterate through them, and you can render these products. Now I have also this product page here, and I'm using Redux. Now, if you didn't watch Redux video, please go ahead and watch it. You'll understand this. And those ones who needed the nice template to work with that has Redux, this is the one. I have it, set it up very nicely with Redux, and you can use it in all your projects for free. So we have this. We're not going to look at this functionality. I have already explained it in the Redux application. We're just going to go through to what we need to do. Okay, so I'm just going to close out everything here. So the whole magic starts when we actually add products to cart. So if I just add products to cart, just a second, I just add, oh, just simply reload, guys. Okay, we have two items in the cart, and you can see we have these items in the cart. Even this nice cart, nice cart, you can always use it in your projects. We are using it in the big project we are building, the Stockify. If you haven't signed up for this course, guys, you need to sign up for that course, and that's why I'm even doing this Stripe, because we are going to add Stripe to our big project. So it will be so massive, guys. Join me and we build together that side. So this is the point where we are going to start from. We have all our products added to checkout. When I click on this button, I need to send these things to the API. So starting from this place here, I'm just going to start by creating the env here. So I'm just going to put Stripe secret key, just like this, is equal to, and then this. So I'm just going to pause for a second. I add my Stripe secret key. As I've showed you, go to this side of developers, get your secret key. Okay, that's the one you're going to use. So I'm just going to go ahead, just pause for a second, get my key, and I close this file. I'm just going to pause. Okay, so I went ahead, copied my Stripe secret key, added it in the env. Now I can access it anywhere I want in my project. So let's create the API endpoint. So we need two things. We need the checkout, which we already have. And we're also going to go ahead and create a new folder here in the app called API. Okay, inside the API, create a new folder called checkout. Checkout. And then inside this, go ahead and create route.ts, not tsx, but ts. And in this, we can just say export async function, export async function, post. So it's going to be a post request. Okay, and inside here, you can just quickly put your try catch, a try catch block, just like this. Here, you can just go ahead and just console.log the error, a plus here. I'm just going to go ahead and just say console, not console.log. So this is where we are going to do all the things that we said. Okay. So after creating this, of course, this one takes in a request. Okay, it takes in a request, which is going to be next. I think it is next request. The type for this is next request, just like this. And at the end of the day, you have to return the next response. At the end of the day, whatever you do, what you must return next response dot JSON. And whatever you're going to return is going to be a URL. As we said, it will be a URL. For now, just leave it like this. Now, having done this, all our logic is going to go here. So we said in the first step, I'm just going to go ahead and pull out my steps here. Okay, I'm just going to go here. So the first step, create the API endpoint, of which we went ahead and created the API endpoint. Having done these first two steps, we just go ahead and create the endpoint, this one. The second one, receive the products from the store cart checkout. So can we first send these products? So I'm just going to go to the cart, not the cart. Actually, this cart page, you can actually delete it. Okay, we don't need the cart page. I'm just going to remove it. It is not necessary because we are handling the cart items on the this nice thing here. This is not a page, it's just like a nice sheet where we're going to be handling all this. So go to that, which is going to be found in the cart menu here. In the components, there is cart menu. And in the cart menu, these are the cart items. You can just go ahead and see them in the console. I'm going to right click, go here. If you go to the console, you have two items in an array. As you can see them here, these two items. Okay, and these are the cart items. You can see I even console.log them. So we need to get these items and send them to that API. So I'm just going to create a new function here. Async function, async a function, create, not create, just check out, just like this. Okay, you can also just do a try catch. Okay, just like that. And here we're just going to console.log the error. And then here we need to send the cart items. Cart items. This one can be from your checkout. Cart items to the checkout endpoint. So the checkout endpoint. That's what we want. So I'm just going to do that exactly. And this function, we need to call it when we click onto this button. Proceed to checkout. Okay, I'm just going to go down to this to look for that. Just scroll down here, continue shopping, and then this. First of all, remove this link. We are not linking anywhere. I'm just going to cut this and then just add this text. Remove this as a child, and so this one becomes a normal button. Now on a click of this, I need to fire the checkout function. Okay, now let's go to the checkout function. So in this checkout function, just going to do const. Okay, response is going to equal to await fetch, and then in this fetch, of course, you can just go ahead and use Axios. I'm just going to use this. Okay, now for now, you need to create you need to create So you need to create, we are creating this fetch, which takes in this endpoint here. Okay, it takes in the endpoint. Now, for purposes, when you are deploying this, go ahead and say const base URL is equal to process dot env dot. So you can see I have two. I have Stripe secret key. and I have next public base URL. So go ahead and create this next public base URL in your environmental variables in the .env and put localhost 3000. So I'm just going to get this. So I'm just going to use this one here to make, so I'm just going to say base URL, which is going to be $base URL slash checkout, just like this. And then, of course, we're using this. Just going to say method, and method is going to be post. And then down here, we're just going to have the headers as usual. And this headers is an object which takes in the content type. Content type to be the application JSON. Application JSON, just like this. After finishing this, then down here we have the body, just like so. And this body, I'm just going to say JSON.stringify, JSON.stringify, and we are stringifying the cart items, and we are going to send them as products, and then these ones are going to be cart items. So we have cart items here. Okay, so these cart items here, we have these ones here are the ones we are sending. Okay, so this is the stuff here, and for now we just need to add also the loading so that we can just know what is going on. So just going to add the loading state. So const loading set loading is equal to use state. So just simply add a use state, and by default this is going to be false. Okay, and so when we start this process, we have set a loading here to true, and then if there is a response, okay, so you can just say if, so you can just get here this response. So if you can just say if response, maybe if response, and then we can just go ahead and say set loading to false, set loading to false. And also if there is any problem, if there is any errors, just go ahead and also set loading to false. Now we can use this loading, we can use this loading on this button. So actually we're just going to this button if this is loading. So I'm just going to say if there is loading, it is true. We need to show some loading spinner here, and then this one. So for this one, I'm just going to first make this button disabled. So just say disabled. And then also I'm just going to change inside here. I put an icon, which is just loader2, just like this, and give a class name. Okay, to this, you can give it width is 4, height 4, MR of 2, and you can just give it animate spin, and then you can have now the text. So here we're just going to say processing, please wait. So you say processing, processing, and you can put the 3 dots here or any text you want. So we have this button showing up, and then this one, but even this one which says continue shipping, while we are doing that, we don't want to see it. So we're just going to say also here if there is no loading. So this time just going to say if there is no loading, show it. just like this. Okay, great. So now at least we have some things. So to test that these products are reaching in the route here, we can just first get them in the route. So the first step was receive the checkout products, checkout products from the client. Okay, the speeding of these things, guys. So checkout products. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say const. So you can destructure products. Okay, you can destructure products from which is going to be equal to await a request dot json. Okay, just like this. Now we can just go ahead and just say const checkout products. We can just call these ones checkout products is equal to products is equal to products, just like this. Now we need to give this, you can see they have any. So we know I want to give the types to these ones. So we can quickly go to store in Redux, slice and cut. We can just simply either create a new interface or we can export this. Okay, because they have this. It is an ID, name, price, image, and quantity. So they have this type. I can just go ahead and export this type and then use it. So in the route here, I'm just going to say these items, they have a shape of a cut item, import this, and then of course an array. So now if you hover, you see they have this array of cut items. So this is the first step, and we can console.log to be sure that we actually received these checkout products. Just like this. So if I just go ahead and hit this process, I'm just going to just here. So if I just say process, you can see processing, and they're saying not found. Let's first see here. The checkout was first wait. Stroke checkout. I think we messed out one thing. Sorry. So in the cut menu here, and that's like the good thing for testing. So we left out, they think the API. So this is localhost 3000 API stroke checkout. Okay, great. And that's the purpose of testing, even when you know you are sure. Let's do it one more time. Okay, and since there's no any errors, let's go to the console this time. And we have our array of products. So you can see we have sent 2 products and they're there. Great. So now that this is done, I'm just going to go back to my Xcode draw. The API endpoint was created. We can receive the product from the store or the client, create these Stripe products from the checkout products. So that is now the 6th step. First of all, let's first initiate Stripe in our project. We haven't initiated Stripe. Now, you can initiate it in so many ways. One of the ways you can just say const Stripe is equal to uh, require. So this is the Next.js way of doing it. And since we're in the API, we can use Next.js. So Stripe is require, and then here you say require Stripe, just like this. And then you go ahead and you pass in the API key here, okay, which is going to be process.env.stripe secret key, just like this. So this creates an instance of Stripe. If you want to know where you go to that, if you go to Stripe npm, yes, a Stripe npm, which we actually installed. This is the package we installed at the beginning of the tutorial. So we installed this package, npm install Stripe. If you just scroll down, you will see that they give you a way of initiating a Stripe in your project, and you can see it here. Okay, so you can just use Stripe, require Stripe, and then you pass the API key, or you could use the ESM modules. Okay, you can just capture this in this way. Say import Stripe from Stripe is equal Stripe is new Stripe, and you pass in the API key. So these two, you can either do this or you can do the above one. Okay, these are two lines, this is one line, so it's up to you how you want to initiate Stripe here, but they all work. Okay, so first of all, to know that Stripe has worked, we need to have a way of testing it, and the easy way to test it is by getting Stripe products in our application. Okay, the Stripe products, these products we have in the dashboard. So I could just go here and I put in products catalog. So you can see right now I have very many products here, so many that we have created together. I'm just going to go ahead and archive all these products. I'm not going to delete them, but I can archive them so that will remain. There's a reason why I'm archiving them. I'm just going to show you something here in the dashboard. Okay, I just want to remain with one archive. Now, if you have already put them in a checkout, they don't allow you to delete them, as you can see here. Products have been already used cannot be deleted. They can only be archived. Okay, so I have one product now. This powder canister. It is also you can see they say here you have 11 items and you have one active and 10 items archived. So you have to know that on the dashboard, you can have archived products and you can also have active products. The ones we want in our application are always the the active ones. So you're just going to create a function here that we are going to be using to fetch the the one you're going to use to fetch the active Stripe products. So you can just say here async function get active Stripe products. So you're just going to have this function just like this. I'm creating it outside because I want to reuse it inside several times. So I'm just going to come here and I say const, okay, const products. I'm just going to say const products is equal to await, and you can just use the Stripe we have used instance dot products dot list. So it has this. This will return or retrieve all the items in the dashboard. Of course, down here we can just go and say return the products, just like this. Now, if you're wondering where you go to this is from the Stripe API. So you can just come here, for instance, and in the browser, type in, for instance, retrieve products Stripe API. As simple as this, you can see you have this coming here. Retrieve. This is now retrieve a single product. We just go down here where you say retrieve a list of all products, and you can see it here. Stripe require. Now this is the first one. We did the Stripe instance. Then afterwards we have const products is equal await Stripe products dot list. Of course, you can pass in a limit of the items you want, but here you want to get all of them. And you can see the response, how it looks like. You have the object URL plus has more, and then this data. Okay. So I want to this after getting these items. Okay, I can just go ahead and just say Let's first get this one. I want to show you something. So in my application here down, okay, I want first retrieve or get a list of active Stripe products, and I can just go say, for instance, let active Stripe products, active Stripe products equal to await get active. We call this function now. Okay, and now instead, let's go ahead and console.log the active Stripe products. These ones now here. Let me just go ahead and console.log this one. Now let's go ahead and they see this. I'm just going to go ahead and run this here. Just click on proceed. Done. Okay, go to the console. Let's see if we can see these products. So down here, you see that I have object list and data, and you have the data with so many items. Okay, so this thing here, this function we did here, it actually returns say stripe products dot list. This is going to bring out all the items, including the active and the archived ones. Okay, so we need only the active ones. If you look at the product, how the attributes of this product, you have ID, you have the object, then you have the active. So you can say, is this active? False. So you can say, we can use this to filter out the non-active ones. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead. Okay, I will just go ahead and go through this. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and go through this. Yes, we're going to say const. For instance, active products is going to equal to products dot data. I think if you want to see them without this, you can see that they are in an object. Even before seeing it here, you can remember that this returns an object. You can see here that when you just go and get a list, this will return an object and the products are on data. So if you want to see only the products, you can simply just go on the product data. Now here, we can now do dot filter. So I'm just going to filter using the normal JavaScript filter, just like this. And I have access to an item. Now we want to return an item whose active is equal to true, as simple as this. So now I want to go ahead and return the active products from this function. Now I'm just going to give this any for now. Okay, so now let's go ahead and see console.log again, see what we get. So click on process. Okay, go back on the console. Let's look at this. Now we should get only one item this time. And as you can see, we have only one item. Okay, this is great. So we now, first of all, this proves that we are connecting to Stripe dashboard. And if you have reached at this point, that's nice. So let's go ahead with our steps. Okay, if you just go back to the Xcard draw here, retrieve the products, create the stripe. Now, what we want is to create the stripe from the checkout products, and you can see check if the item already exists in the stripe. That's why we are doing this here. Okay, we are doing first getting the active products, and the reason we are doing that is we want first check if this item exists and then we go ahead and create this item. So to do that, so now here we have to create the item in Stripe a dashboard. If it doesn't exist, if it doesn't exist already. So if it doesn't exist, then that's when we want to create it. So I'm just going to go here and do a for of loop. So I'm just going to say for, and I can just say, for instance, const a product of checkout products. So we just want to loop through these the checkout products, and I can do something like this. Now I have access to this. You can use a for each. I'm just using a for of. You can use also a for each, can do the same thing. And then here, inside here, I have a product. Now, what I just need to do is first get a Stripe product. Okay. So const Stripe product. So want to know, is this product a Stripe product? And the easier way we can just get it is going through the active products. So we can just say active products. Okay. Dot find. So want to find. Okay. We also have access to an item here. And we can just say want find an item dot name. So these products have names. If you scroll down here, there is a name you can see here. So we are just to use the names. So item dot name to lowercase. And just let me first give this one any for now. Okay, so you can just say item dot name, and you can say to lowercase, lowercase, just like this, is equal to product. So this product is the one that is coming from the front. This one, checkout product. So we want to compare those, and we say product dot name dot to lowercase, just like this. So we're trying to use the names. We convert the name to lowercase, and this also name to lowercase, and we compare. So we check if this product already exists. If the item does not exist, that is, if not a Stripe product, something like this, then go ahead and create it. So now here, create the Stripe product. So you want now to create this. Okay, so you can just go ahead and do that. I'm just going to go ahead and see. So what am I going to create here? I'm just going to go ahead and say const Stripe product. Is it Stripe product? Const product maybe is equal to Stripe is equal to await. So this, I think it's good just like we put this in a try catch, because this process is, it can actually fail. Console.log here, you can just say this, just put this error, because this is a more serious process of creating the product. It might fail. So you can also here create the product and say const product. So you can say new. I'm just going to create new Stripe product. New Stripe product is going to be equal to await Stripe dot products dot create. Okay, there is this create method on the API, and then this takes in a number of things. Okay, the first one is the name, and we're just going to get a name from product dot name. Okay, so this, remember we are iterating through this product here. So we have access to its name. Now, to see this on the Stripe API, if you just go here, there is also creating a product here. And you can see it takes in parameters name, like active, whether the product is currently available for purchase, default is true. So you don't need to give this, active is by default true. Description, ID, metadata, and more parameters. The most important one is this default price data. Okay, so there's this default price data, and you can just go here, data used to generate a new price object. If you saw the parameters for this one, we have two important one. The one is the unit price. Okay, if you scroll down, continue scrolling, you will see that it has this unit amount. Okay, so this unit amount is going to be an integer, a positive integer in cents. So most people actually don't read this, but the unit amount must be in cents. Okay, so the one you are sending or the incoming products, they come in dollars, but you have to convert this into cents. Okay, and another one you have to send is the currency. So within this object, you're going to see somewhere you need to have the currency, and you can also just see here that the default price dot recurring. So the recurring component of the price, such as interval or interval account, we are not going to see this, and it's also an object if it was recurring and so on, which is for us is going to be the default is just like the to one time. So we have also the currency option, and it is required a 3-letter ISO currency code. You can just go here and see the currency you want to set in, and they will use that. So here we need to add this, the default price data, this here, default price data. So I'm just going to go that, you just say default price data, and this is an object, and inside we have the unit amount. Okay, unit amount, and this unit amount must be an integer. So to convert this into an integer, okay, we could just go outside and first do this, or we could just do something like math dot round, and then inside here you just need to get product dot price times 100, just like this. So this one will guarantee us getting back an integer because of this round, and then we are converting it into cents by multiplying 100. So 1 cent or $1 actually is equal to 100 cents. That's why we are multiplying 100 to convert this into cents. Okay, moving on, we need to pass in the second one, which is going to be the currency. Okay, you always like copying these things. It is just always nice. Just copy currency here. I'm just going to come and just add it here. So currency, just going to put USD, as simple as this. Okay, the next, if you want, you could stop on this, but let's add also the images. And if you go to see the images, you're going to see that the image is supposed to be an array. So I'm just going to put product.image, just like this. And if you just go here, hide this, you can see down here you have images, array of strings. They go ahead and explain a list of up to 8 URLs of images for this product meant to be displayed to the customer. So that's why I'm creating an array, and I'm passing in the only image we have, product.image. So this now should create a product in the Stripe dashboard. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm just going to add a few products. Let me just go to actions, and let's add maybe up to 16, maybe to 18, and just like that. so that we can have more options of new products that haven't existed on the e-commerce. So going back here, let me just go. I'm just going to remove these items. Okay, the ones we have these two, I'm removing these two. Now we have more products. If you check on the e-commerce, that's the good thing with using API. So I'm just going to add this beef stick. Okay, and then this cat food. Right now, let me just add only this beef stick. And if you go to this product right now, we have only one. I'm just going to refresh so that we have this powder canister. Okay, we have this powder canister. So let's just go ahead and try to do this. Go back. Now we don't need this now. We can just go ahead and proceed. Okay, so something must have happened. Now we don't expect to see any big thing this side in the route because we didn't even console.log anything here. But what we would check is inside, first take off this one, we would check inside the dashboard, refresh. We see if there is any new product that was created in the dashboard. And definitely I think we have an error. Let's first check on the console. We might be having an error because there was no product that wait. Okay, so here we just have a item dot lowercase is not a function, of course. So just go down somewhere where we are comparing the product. So they're saying item dot name dot lowercase is not to lowercase. Yeah, of course. Someone would have told me this. Okay. And now that we are here, we can just go ahead and maybe what does this return? What is the response to this? Uh, you could just say in the Stripe, the response to this is the actually that product. Okay. So we could just like either return this product, we could just say console.log the new product. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead now, send this one more time. This process. Okay, so something must have happened. Let's go to terminal this time. I don't want to get disappointments. And we have a new product, I guess. Yep. So you can see now we have two products, and this is the beef stick. I'm just going to go to the Stripe dashboard. Why don't I drag this near here? I'm just going to refresh and let's see if we have this in the Stripe API, in the Stripe dashboard. And we have the beef stick. Okay, so it was created successfully, very nicely, like that. So now that we can create products in the dashboard, that's really great. I'm just going to go ahead and comment out this. Okay, let's go back to our steps. I'm also going to bring this escadrille nearby here. So we have checked, we check if the item mode exists. If it doesn't exist, then we create the product. We have done that. The next one is now create Stripe, check out products from your Stripe products. So now we need to prepare the Stripe checkout. So we need to do also now one more time. I'm just going to first copy this. So down here, okay, down here, I'm just going to first say active products. Let me first paste this one. Just a second. Let me just pause this. I need to get these active products one more time. Remember, after creating this now, we have many products now. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this here. Okay. We need active Stripe products. Okay. And we also need now to say late, for instance, checkout, Stripe checkout. I'm just going to say Stripe checkout products is going to be an empty array, and we can just give this any for now. So we need to prepare Stripe checkout products. So initially, we want to loop through the products and we create them, but for now, we don't have them, right? So what we just need to do is, I'm just going to cut this and I do another for of loop. So I'm just going to say for, and inside here, we're just going to do the same thing. Product const is supposed to be const a product of checkout products. Okay. Now we need to check again. Now this time we are checking also uh, we first again get active products. Now, after creating this product here we created, now if we fetch again, this product we created on top here will be amongst these active products. Now, this time we want to check if this product is really in the dashboard before we add it to the checkout session. As I've told you that to get the checkout products, they must be existing already on the Stripe dashboard. So this is what we are ensuring, that we first check the Stripe dashboard if this product exists. Then if it exists, then at this point, we need to add it to the checkout session. So we get again the Stripe product if it exists, or you could actually just say this as existing a Stripe product, Stripe product, the name doesn't matter. So you have this existing Stripe product. So you check if this time, if existing product, Stripe product, if this product now exists, we go ahead and now add it to the checkout, add it to the checkout products. Okay, checkout, Stripe checkout products. Okay, so we need to add it to this Stripe checkout products. And how are we going to do that? Uh, is it because of something here? Wait a second. What is this? Consisting of find. I think this is supposed to be there, and then I'm supposed to go outside here. Okay, so I'm just saying if existing Stripe product, so this is going again to check in the active Stripe products and find if this product exists. If it exists, that's the one we want. We need to create the Stripe checkout product. So to create a Stripe checkout product, we're going to say, of course, we are going to say Stripe checkout products dot push. And what are we pushing? So the Stripe product must be of this format. One, it should have, I think, should have a name. No, it actually should have a price, and it should also have the quantity. I think these are the two things they want from the product. These two. Okay, so where do we get this? Let me see if I can see if we have somewhere that. Um, I think somewhere we can scroll down. There is where we have checkout. I would want, there is only a session. The session object create session. Uh, create session is something different. This is session. I wanted like creating a checkout product, something like that. But here I think is not there. But create a checkout product, they need two things: the price and the quantity. Now, the price is actually a price ID. If you look in these items here, the price ID, they mean the price ID. They don't just mean like the actual price because they already have it. They mean this ID here. This is the price ID. This is the one they want. Okay. Okay. So we not actually not this one. Sorry, this one. The default price. Not this. The default price is the one they want, and you can see it is a price ID. So just going to get this. Okay, and we can get this from a price ID. We can get this price ID from the existing product. Remember, we have it now. Dot this default price. Now for the quantity, we'll get it from the product, this one, because when we are saving the product to the dashboard, it doesn't go with this. If you remember, when we are creating the item in the dashboard, we didn't add anywhere quantity. So the quantity is still undefined. So we still get the quantity now from this product here. So we just get now this to be product dot qty, this one. So these are the two things you need. Okay, so this is going to iterate and add all these items into the Stripe checkout products. So from here, we go to the next step, which is now creating the session. So create the checkout session. Okay, and this is the last step. So we create the checkout session. Okay, so if you just go back here, you see there is create a session, and it is very easy, just like this. You can even just copy this object, and the session is as easy as creating it like here. Await stripe.checkout.sessions.create, and then you pass in the success URL. You pass in the line items. Now, in our case, the line items is the Stripe checkout products, Stripe checkout, the ones who are iterating here. So what we're doing here, we're trying to create that. Actually, if you look at this, they only need a price ID and the quantity. Okay, this is where I was looking for before. They need the price and the quantity. Only these two items they expect from a single item. And that's why we're iterating through the other products and creating this format. You can see we're trying to create the price ID plus the quantity. After getting all these items, now we are passing them to create the checkout session. So now in the session, the most important things are three: the line items, the success URL, and of course, we are going to put the cancel URL plus the mode. So the mode can be, I think, payment, or it can be, I think, also a refund or something like that. So here we will need a success URL plus also the cancel. So you can also have the cancel URL. So to have these ones, let's go ahead and create inside here. We create a new file. I'm just going to create success, if I can spell right now, success stroke a page.tsx. Okay, RFC. Now you can just go ahead and copy the cancel page in the documentation. If you scroll down here, there is where you have success page. Just go ahead and just copy this and place it here. You can design a better success page than this. And also we have the cancel page that had issues, I believe, but its code is here also. Okay, for this one, I'm just going to copy manually. I think for your case, by the time you find this, maybe it will be okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and create also the app console. So new file, console, then page .tsx, just like this. So I have the console page. You can just go ahead and look at them before just go here, stroke success. Okay, you can see this is the success, and you can also test the console. And this is the console. You can design a better one, the one we saw from here. You saw from this Lemme e-commerce, we have extremely nice invoice designed, so you can just use or design that one and then go ahead and use it here. But for now, I'm just using these ones to, the easy ones. Okay, moving on, in our route, we need to these places. So I just beg that we just say const the base URL is equal to process dot env dot next public base URL. And then we can just use it here. I'm just going to just do this, and I'm just going to start with dollar base URL and then stroke success. And then for this, that now with this ability, you could just, for instance, the way you saw in this, let me show you just a second. I'm just going to add 2 items. Oh, we have 4 items. We can just remove some. So I have these 2. If I continue to the checkout, okay, I could just continue to payments. As you see this, proceed to payment, you can do this. So I could just go ahead, as you can see, order created. I can just copy this, and you find you create, for instance, an order. So you can just go ahead and create an order with these items. You could just go here and create an order just like this, create an order, and you pass to this URL. Okay, sorry, did I just copy that or what? So you could just pass in where you get the order ID. So create an order to the DB here. You could just go ahead and use, you could just use now these items we are putting in the session. Go ahead and create an order. And you could even do it in this for of loop here. Okay. Or you could just even create outside here. Okay. So you could just go ahead and create an order to the DB and get to the DB, and then get order ID, and then you can route to this endpoint. Okay, you can route to this endpoint now. Because you have the order ID, you can send a person to order confirmation, then you pass it as the success here. The success URL, you construct it this way, and it can redirect to that. Okay. For now, I'm not going to handle that. It is something you can just do, and we shall just do that in details, maybe in one of the videos. So you're just going to say base URL stroke cancel. Okay, so this will create a session. Okay, and we can just go ahead and you can console.log out the session. The session has a lot of things, and one thing we just need from the session is the URL. So here we just want to return session dot URL, just like this. Okay, and this one can just be question mark. So we want to return this, and after returning that, From the front side, this side, in the menu here, where we have the checkout, where we're saying response, I can get this. You can just go ahead and just check the response. We could just go ahead and just console.log the response here. Console.log the response, just like this. Okay. So now I'm just going to go ahead and so now we are creating the session. As you can imagine, I'm just going to go back here. Now I want to create a session. Let me first go to the store here, and I'm just going to initiate this. So at this point, we expect to create a session. Okay. You can close all these so many files, and we open the one we want, the route. So we see we expect to create the session. Okay, and we want console.log the session and see. Okay, let me just process. I'm sending this. We already have this item, by the way. You can check again in the Stripe dashboard. You will see that this item will not be created for the second time, as it already exists here. And that's the nice thing of checking. You said this item now won't be created as a duplicate. But if we check now, we should have like something like a session in our stuff. Let's see. And these products. And so you can see this is the session here. It is an object with ID, object session, check out the session. After expiry, it has amount subtotal, amount total, it has automatic tax, it has all this information that you send with those products. The one that we are interested in, if you just continue scrolling down, we are interested in the URL. So if you just go down here, you see that we actually have the Stripe URL, this one. So this is the most important one, because this is the one which gives you the checkout. This is the one we call the checkout URL now. Okay, so this checkout URL, we call this now. So also check in the console this side if we received it in the console. I'm not sure if something happened. To confirm that something happened, we need to receive it. Oh, wait. Just want to drop this. So we just like sending it back as the URL. So if I just go to this function here, I'm just going to do const data is equal to response. Do we need to await the response? Response dot JSON, really just like this. This is wrong. Okay, this is wrong. Let me just let me just cross check this in the cart somewhere. I just want to cross check this here before yeah, okay, that's right. What? Okay, that's great. So we actually have to convert this into JSON. Okay, then this data is the one which is going to combine. So this data dot URL. So this data, okay, is going to be containing the URL. If data dot URL, we can just say const. This is supposed to be dot. Okay, const URL, or you could just say this is the checkout URL. Const checkout URL is equal to data dot URL, and you can just do this. Now you can use any way you want to redirect to this. Set loading to false, and we can just say window, for instance, window dot location dot href is equal to checkout URL, just like this. Or you could just use router dot push, and then you push this URL. So when it comes back, we just need to go to this URL, and that's it. Okay, so let's try one more time. So I'm just going, first of all, add an item that was not here. Okay, so let's add one more item. Let's continue shopping. Let's add one more item that was not here, this one. Okay, I'm adding this. So now there are two items, just like this. I want to proceed. Let's see. And guys, look at this. And now it takes us to this page, okay, with the beef stick and this item we did. If I check now, this item didn't exist, so it will, this one we had it and this one was not there. So now if I go back to my dashboard, first of all, it should first create, so we had this, it should first create that item, then afterwards it adds it in the checkout. Okay, so you can see the item is here. Okay, and now what I just want to do is, let's fill in something, test at this sub, and let's add 4242. So the testing here is 4242 42 42 42 42 42 42. Okay, the card you can put 11 20 2029. Just put any number here, 1 2 3. You can just add any name, and then, so if we have two things, someone can cancel or can just simply continue and pay. And we paid, and so now we redirect to success. Okay, so you can see we redirect to this to success. If someone cancels, of which we are going to try right now, if I do again process, we are routing to that page. Now this time I want to cancel. Okay, canceling is going back. So going back, you see now we are redirected to the order cancelled. Okay, so you can see we are on this cancel. Okay, so one thing you can do is you can also clear the items, because when a person has created the order and everything is done, you simply need to clear the items from the local storage and everything. You don't want him, after he has created an order, he still have these items from that. I went ahead and created for you a nice function from also this. Did I add that function? Wait. Let's go in the slice. Do I have that function really? Yeah. So you can see you have this remove all products from cart. Okay. And this one just removes item from the local storage. So I'm just going to call this. I'm just going to say dispatch. So at this point, before going, I'm just going to say dispatch. And you can dispatch a remove all products from store, just like this. Okay, and now this one helps us if someone places wants to go just like this. Let's first go back to the store, and here I just want to see proceed to checkout. So you see the items were cleared, and now we can go back here. I can decide to pay or go back. Okay, and if you of course go back, it takes me to the console, but you see items in the local storage were cleared. Okay, so you could just go to the so many things you can do from here. Now that the payment is confirmed and has been paid, as I've said, you have endless things you can do here. Okay, and another thing you can also look at, and of which I might just make another video about, is the webhooks. So if you just go back to the developers here, you see we've been using the API keys. Now we have what you call the webhooks. Okay, and you can see here you can generate, for instance, invoices, do a lot of things, like for instance update the customer and blah blah. And this is so much webhooks are so good with to my logic. They are good with the billing, because there you want to save the data in actually in Stripe, because you'll be checking a lot with that, and also in your webhook. But the webhook, after the checkout session has been done, it can go ahead and run a webhook, or it can run an endpoint in your application to notify you of what has happened, that the customer has cancelled or the customer has accepted, and we can also build on top. So I will just come back. I think building on top of like webhooks, and also with the the subscription mode of payment on the e-commerce. I will come with that video anytime. And but thank you for watching this episode. I think you have learned a tons of things. There is also a guide on what you have been doing, and so I wish you the best. Thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed to the course, please go ahead and check out the Next.js course. It is amazing, guys. We are building this project, and even me, I'm so happy, and we'll go ahead and add Stripe in that project. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.